The defense played really well.
Yep.
4 sacks in the first half, 5 total, flying around with some really good performances from various players. What stood out from you on the defense, Shaun?
Yeah, I think the D-line got home a couple times. We also, I think, ran a lot more pressures than we have been in the past, at least that I noticed this week. I think Gimmel got home a couple times, and the Fox brothers were doing what they do, getting home and create some pass rush and havoc. And I think with the man blitzes, having the corners not have to hold up so long, I think that, allowed them to, keep the passing yards down and, get the guys home for the sacks. And we had, like I said, 4 sacks before halftime. So, definitely a bright spot.
And you had 6 quarterback hurries, 9 tackles for a loss, and that defensive pressure, it just causes havoc and allows for turnovers. You had the forced fumble, the scooping score from Hester and Trey Morrison, followed by, in the second half, the Cam Kelly interception. I thought you had a lot of guys making big plays. I mean, I tweeted out, it said, I had Cedric Gray had a big play. I thought Tony Grimes had a big play. The defensive line was flying around. Miles Murphy had a huge game. We haven't mentioned him yet.
Flash too.
Yeah, he had an early sack and then 2.5 tackles for a loss. So the defense overall, outside of that one big touchdown run by Duke to begin the second half, played really well. Kudos to Jay Bateman and his players. They stepped up. You're seeing some similarities there, some continuity on defense. Gave some plays here and there, but really held Duke. When they got into their own territory, UNC held them to either a turnover on downs or a punt or a field goal, and they didn't make any field goals there.
So we won the turnover battle. When you win the turnover battle and you make them punt, I mean, we're in any game at that point.
So first takeaway, the play of UNC's defense. And the second takeaway, offensive line, we talked about already. What's the issue with the offensive line at the core? What do you think is the issue?
Man, there's so many different things it could be, but just from a bird's eye view and not being able to really study the film, I really think it's a lot of communication. It's the fact that we don't have an identity, as an offense, and for an offensive line, you got to have some type of dog mentality to say, like, if we're running the ball, I'm the man in front of me not making the tackle. Even on pass protection. And right now, like you said, you alluded to earlier, there's 3 different centers that played, and they're the second quarterback, of the offense, and him being able to point to the mic who we're sliding to, who we're sliding away from, all those communications. So when you don't have that continuity with the offensive line, it just causes a lot of confusion. And I think Azudu, I mean, he's a bright spot. And he's having some issues as well, but he's also, trying to hold those guys accountable, I think, the offensive line, and, just trying to, and I think in that he's just not playing his game, so worried about, the other guys, but,
Yeah, and I think, maybe a talent issue or a continuity issue. You mentioned the 3 centers playing tonight, today, but the experience is there. They have the experience. So I don't know if it's a chemistry issue, a coaching issue, a continuity issue, or it's a combination of not having Javonte and Michael back there at running back or Sam. So there's just a lot of confusion on why the offensive line can't get better. But a win over Duke, it will let this one slide, but you're going to need the offensive line to establish this run, to build on this win. And the third takeaway, I thought, was the wide receivers. Some good play, some bad play. Josh Downs, 8 receptions, a big touchdown. He's all over the place. He did have a drop or two, and Sam missed him a couple times as well. Other than Josh Downs, there's not much action from the wide receivers. The next 3 biggest catchers for UNC were 2 tight ends, Garrett Walston and Kamari Malice, each with, I think, 2 receptions. Kamari Malice had 3 receptions, and then Ty Chandler with 2. But guys like Antoine Green, Steven Gosnell, Emory Simmons each had 1. They were targeted a bunch, either be a drop or Sam not hitting his receivers. I think Sam's been a little inaccurate.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the offensive line. Like, we kind of talked, if you notice, it was Josh Downs on short throws. You got Morales with 3 catches, and then the other receivers with 1. And, I think that's a combination of Sam not being comfortable in the offensive line, not being able to protect them. He had a couple, and he attempted to throw down the field, and I think those might have been blind throws with somebody in his face, the ones he overthrew. He just knew where the guy was supposed to be, and that's where he tried to put it. But again, it kind of goes back to the offensive line not protecting.
UNC definitely took shots, and when the shots don't connect, you're stuck with 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10. And so not connecting on those deep pass plays can really hurt your offense. It's better to go short or establish a run, get 2, 3, 4 yards, and have a little shorter second down, third down. So I think UNC needs better production from the other wide receivers.